Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. And I am Firehawk, the Master Nobi, and I'm going to do my review of Spy Family Season 2 and kind of share my thoughts about what happened in the season and things like that, and just kind of think like things I'd like to see and think my thoughts on different things that happened during the season. So, if you haven't watched season 2, there will be spoilers in this, obviously. But even if you haven't, still go out there and watch it because I love Spy Family very, very much. I probably watched season 1, I don't know how many times. So I probably will do the same thing with season 2. I really enjoy this anime, and I just really enjoy the dynamics of everybody, and just kind of like everybody has a secret. Like pretty much everybody has a secret. You know, people in the family have a secret. All four of them, including the dog, have a secret. But then Yori also has a secret, which is kind of crazy. Technically, Lloyd's best friend has a secret, and the secret is that he gives information and stuff like that, and is technically a spy too. So there's so many different dynamics, a lot of secrets here. Obviously, Nightfall has a secret, obviously too, but it's kind of crazy to see the secret keeping and things like that. So I definitely enjoyed this season. I think it is a very good season. One of my favorite things, obviously, about this season is the opening. I think it's very colorful. The music is very good, just like the other ones were. I feel like, they did really well with part 1 and part 2 of season 1, and the intros were really nicely done. This one cracks me up, though, just because of the teacups. It just cracks me up. Them falling out, doing different things with tea. It just made the opening so much better. So hopefully you can't hear my dog snoring. My dog is a little snorer. And anyways, I have a American Bulldog, and he, well, technically I have two dogs, but my American Bulldog is a snorer. And then my Red Heeler, she doesn't snore. But anyways, so if you hear him, I apologize for that. But anyways, I really enjoy the opening and the season season 2 opening. The teacups is just amazing. I can't tell you how much I really enjoyed that. Definitely really loved it. One thing I have loved about this season is the showing of other characters that we didn't get to see aspects of before. So we didn't get to see, a lot about Bond because he came in later in season 1. And we get to see a little bit more about Yor and Yori, and you get to see a little bit of a side about Second Son. And then you obviously have the side with Anya, and you get to see a lot about her and Lloyd, obviously. But you get to see these aspects of the other secondary characters that you didn't really get to see in season 1. So you're kind of getting a little bit more information about them. And Bond is one of those ones that I think is really cool. He's definitely heavily featured in some of the episodes, or Bond episodes, where he goes and helps Lloyd. That is just a funny episode. Basically, he just doesn't want to go home because he doesn't want to eat Yor's cooking, which is funny to me. It's so hilarious in thinking about Yor's cooking and how it might lead him to death. And he needs to find Lloyd because he can't eat Yor's cooking, which we all know that Yor is a really bad cook, and Lloyd is the better cook. So you see that dynamic there. But then at the end of the season, you see the dynamic of Lloyd being like, oh, he could be a good asset, but then kind of overcomes that barrier where they're like, hey, he went through a lot. He was kind of traumatized with that, with the training and things like that, and very insecure about his place. And so Lloyd has to let Bond know that he's a forger as far as he's concerned. he is a valuable member of the family, no matter what. So I think that's one of the things that I really enjoy. Of course, Lloyd, you see the value that Bond brings with Anya, and so obviously Anya loves Bond super super much, and really relies on him, and that means a lot to Lloyd. You can see them already caring about each other, and Lloyd truly, whether he knows it or not, Lloyd and Yor both love Anya very much, and it's becoming more than just an assignment. So I do love this drawing. Obviously, a lot of these photos are taken from the internet and stuff like that. So I have no credit of any of the images or anything like that. But I just think I love that this one has her in that outfit, because that was a cool part of this season too. Her getting in her spy outfit, and then it becomes the keeper of secrets. Anya has a super big part in this animation in this season 2, where she knows everybody's secret, but now she takes upon that responsibility that I'm going to make sure that no one finds out about her secret and protects her mom. You see her protecting her mom when she got shot with a bullet in episode 1, and episode 26 technically, but episode 1 of season 2. You see that too, where when someone tries to kill her, that she steps in and saves her mom without her mom even knowing it. And that's where this one comes in. She makes a bomb because that guy basically taught her how to make a bomb, and that's just hilarious to me. But anyways, I think a lot of those aspects are really funny. Obviously, I love how she's coming into her own too, where she's becoming a little bit more of a badass a little bit. So I definitely think that's cool. Anya's obviously a very fun, loving little girl, and I don't know, you can't help but fall in love with her. I don't know if you're a big fan of Spy Family, you're gonna have to love Anya, and that's just how it is. I mean, I love Yor and I love Lloyd, but Anya is obviously a big part of the family, and obviously she's a major part of the family because everything rides on her success for the mission to succeed. So that's definitely something that I think is kind of crazy. But yeah, I think Anya, she takes a big role on trying to protect everyone from each other's secrets, and doesn't want anybody else's secret come out, because she's not ready for her own secret to come out. But she also protects, especially your secret. She protects your secret very, very much in this season, and I think that is really, really cool to see that dynamic of her saving her mom's secret. Even though in one episode, one thing that I find is funny is obviously Becky has this super love for Lloyd, and I think it's really crazy in one episode where Becky imagines that her and Lloyd are together, which is kind of really, really crazy, but it's not in Lloyd's mind, so it's not, obviously he has nothing it's her. Obviously people have crushes, and sometimes when you're a kid you have a crush on someone that's a lot older. I mean, I did when I was younger. But anyways, I think it's funny that Anya was already like, well, okay, Becky wouldn't be a bad mom. I thought that was crazy. She's like, sorry, mama. But, it's not a bad thing. But it's like, it's kind of nuts. But then in that episode, you see that Becky basically tells Yor that she's won and whatever, and that she better treat Lloyd right and stuff. I think that's really cool dynamic, and I think that was a cool side story that we got to see, and it's just kind of a funny story, and I think it's kind of a cuteness. People have crushes and stuff like that, just to see how they act around their crushes. I think that's kind of funny and cute in the same time. But I definitely am more happy with Yor sitting in the chair than Becky. It'd be kind of weird if it was Becky, uh, yeah, I, I love Lloyd, so please, please, no, no, keep this family together, for sure. Um, and then, obviously, you're obviously being you really get to see so much about her and how she becomes protective, and then you see her battle about how much she's kind of getting to a point where she's accepting her family and now realizing that she cares about them very much in season two, and realizing that I think that she wouldn't even mind having kids of her own. You see that kind of element in this, but you see her, really fighting hard, being more protective instead of, um, not necessarily being more of an assassin, but now she's being kind of like a bodyguard in this season. She does have to take out people, but it is definitely very different, a different dynamic. But that really was helping because it just gave her that element because she was protecting a mom, and she kind of they could talk about family, and things like that, and she could kind of go through her own things where she was like, hey, she realizes that she really does care about her family, and obviously I would love to see her and Lloyd be more like this, be like more like a real couple, find each other's secrets. Obviously, I think that'd be cool to see their secrets come out. But I think it would be awesome if they do have a biological kid, because Anya would be a big sister, and them having a biological child with their DNA is going to be nuts. A spy and assassin having a kid, oh man, with Anya as a sister, that's going to be crazy. But I am waiting for the day for them to actually be, something. I'm always a romantic, so when I do these, I'm going to definitely talk about the romance aspect because I do really love, romances, and look for those, romances, and I can't wait to see them progress. And so that is something that definitely is different sometimes. Um, so definitely, but I would definitely love to see them kind of become more of an item down the line, and definitely would love to see and her, Lloyd and Yor have a kid. That would be awesome. I think that'd be really cool, um, for them to have a kid down the line. That's me manifesting is something I would like to see in the future. But I mean, I think all of us are going to root for that. I mean, if you love this family, you got to root for them to be an actual family. Another thing we saw in the season is obviously Yori, and we saw a little bit more about Yori. Obviously, Yori has his own secret that he's part of the secret police. Lloyd knows, but Yor does not know. Obviously, Anya knows everybody's secrets, but I do think it's funny. His obsession with his sister is a little bit intense sometimes, but I don't think it's. Sometimes you think it's romantic, but I don't think it's that in a sense. I think it was just that it was them forever, and she did everything for him, kind of raised him, so it's hard for him to accept anybody else in her life. Obviously, he uh, ate her food and didn't care. Oh, it's so great. And then, obviously he was sick, so he wanted to find the herbal tea that his sister buys him when he's sick, and he was looking for that. So that was definitely a different dynamic. I thought that was funny, seeing him. And then obviously he gets super excited when she comes back from the cruise, which is kind of crazy. And super excited, dancing around, waiting for his sister. But then he was mad that Lloyd's back too. But I think it is definitely crazy, a different dynamic, that you don't always see. So I think it's funny. One thing I would love to see. This is also me kind of manifesting something I would love to see down the line. The two characters that are kind of obsessed with the other characters, for them to fall in love, but then to meet each other, right? But then, for me, the best way forward is that neither one of them know each other's secret right away. That makes a whole different crazy dynamic, because Yori's falling in love with a spy, and he's the secret police, and Nightfall doesn't know that he's the secret police. It'd be crazy. Um, you know, and I'm sure Lloyd would want to tell her, but I think he'd want to make Yori happy in a way because that way he's off of his case, and then he would also in the long run see that it'd be better for him if Nightfall was also busy with someone else instead of him. So I think that'd be crazy. But yeah, uh, I think that'd be nuts. So there's a couple things I'm manifesting for the future that I want to see. One of my favorite moments in this whole season is I really really love the him carrying them spending the day, like they were on the ship and they had all these great adventures on the ship and everything like that, but then they go and they spend the day together, and then he carries all of them back to the ship together, and I think that is such a sweet moment. And you can also see how they're growing as a family and how much they care for each other and how much they're kind of falling for each other. And so that's what I really liked about this moment. Of course, we want to see when someone's secret's going to come out, who's going to find out first. Um, it, I think it's going to be interesting. But I definitely really, really enjoyed Spy Family, and I think it's been such a great season. So if you haven't watched season 2, definitely watch season 2. I think there might be a part 2 of season 2, but we're not sure because they're going to have the Spy Family movie coming out, which obviously when that comes out, I will definitely do my thoughts about the Spy Family movie, Code White. But this season was definitely good. I partially think that there will be another part, but people are making it sound like there isn't going to be another part to this season. This is only going to be 12 episodes, which was the first part of season 1 was 12 episodes. So we'll see what happens. I think there will still be a second part later on into 2024, but we'll see what happens. Definitely excited about this, and just really enjoyed the season, and looking forward to seeing the movie coming out soon. And once I can get to watch it, I will definitely watch it because I do enjoy Spy Family very much. Thank you for joining me, and see you next time right here.